All right, welcome back. We continue with the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. Social distancing tonight. Rich Walsh in the comforts of his palatial estate. Andrew Filipponi made his way over to 93.7 The Fan. So I want to ask you guys about Tom Brady, and I know how you feel about him, Andrew, so I'm going to start with Rich on this one. And I bring it up from this point of view. The Super Bowl odds have changed dramatically. Brady signs, all of a sudden they're down to one of the favorites, and they do have weapons, there's no question. However, Tom Brady is 43 years of age, and if you look at his last 7 games in New England, 55% completion percentage, way below what he normally does. Now, is that lack of weapons or his age, Rich?
I think maybe it's a combination of both. And one of the reasons I think he went to Tampa was the receiving core and their tight end. He has weapons there. Maybe not a good running back situation, but they do have weapons. And now what? They're 14-1 Super Bowl odds. They went up the list there, and they're one of the favorites right now. They're definitely one of the contenders in the NFC, and I want to see Tom Brady in this Bruce Arians offense, and I want to see, was it Bill Belichick or was it Tom Brady or was it both of them together? I'm anxious to see how this season unfolds for Tom Brady.
Well, Richie, I think we're going to have a year where we see Brady maybe get to the Super Bowl and Belichick possibly win the Coach of the Year, trying to do it with less there in New England now. Bruce Arians is a really good coach. He's won two Coach of the Year awards. His worst season record-wise was last year at 7-9, and that's with a quarterback that had 35 giveaways, if you count fumbles too, with famous Jameis. I think Brady is going to thrive there, Bob. I think he's going to put up huge numbers. I don't think they're going to try to throw it 40 yards downfield. I think there's going to be compromise. Arians is a smart coach, and Brady's the best to ever do it, and I think they'll find middle ground.
I do too, but I think that division is very difficult to win.
Yeah, I think they're both motivated.
I'm sorry, Rich, go ahead.
Yeah, I think they're both motivated, Belichick and Brady. But I think I don't know who the better one was of the two. But I'm anxious to see what Brady can do at his age. I still think he's a good quarterback. But I think at times last year you saw his age was a factor. You maybe saw that age coming out in the Patriots uniform. So there's a reason that the Patriots didn't want him back this year. I mean, who's going to be their quarterback? They went and they signed Brian Hoyer today. Yeah. Who's going to be their quarterback?
Probably Stedman. But I think New Orleans is a team that has just as many weapons with a quarterback who's a Hall of Famer just to go up against Tom Brady. They may not even win their division. Who knows? It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. We'll continue that, I'm sure, over the weeks to come. We continue. We'll have more coming up. We're talking about transfers, and Pitt has another one that's 2 in 2 weeks. That's next right here on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown.